pretty big role for you with The Chi with Ronnie. And I got to say, this has been one of my favorite shows. And Ronnie's journey has been just an absolute trip to watch. I can only imagine what it's been like to play. So what has it been like, this whole experience? How would you sum it up so far?
It's like a Greek tragedy, but it's, Chicago South Side tragedy, the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs. And what's incredible is that, I'm discovering it along the way. So, for example, like a big reveal at the end of season 2 was that Ronnie grew up living across the street from the person who was his dad. Mm. But no one ever said it openly, but he knew. And that was, that's a pretty significant insight into a character. But I only found out that about, the latter part of the second season. So there's all these major traumas or major events in this character's life that sort of discovering that I wonder how I'd have played it in retrospect. And what's been great about the season 3 was the first time that the writers actually told me the arc of the story for the season, wow. Which actually helped me playing the role in a way different than it had previous seasons. Yeah.
So you've just been rolling blind the first 2 seasons. As we go along, you're learning more and more each and every week. You don't have the full picture. That's insane.
Yeah, I didn't have the full picture at all. And sometimes that's great because you can just, every page, it's like a blank slate. But there's also times where you're like, oh, man, I would have done this differently. I would have done this. But that's the nature of episodic TV because, we're creating it on the spot.
I think one of the other great things is that you have the runway to explore all these different things, the past, the present, the future, family, race, culture. What does it mean to you to have this long form episodic runway where you can go into all this different stuff and all the different parts of Ronnie's life as well?
It's really been a dream come true, really, because you often wonder, you often get a shot, like if you do a play, you're just focusing on that one section and, you do it over and over. For a movie, it's a segment. But for working on a TV series for 3 years running, it's like you get to discover something new each time. And you get to, it's like an onion getting to discover new layers every time. So I feel like it gets richer over time, more nuanced, hopefully, and sort of sinks in. So it's really, I've never had an experience like this before. And it's been, a dream come true for me in many ways.
What is the most fascinating part to playing Ronnie for you?
I think what's interesting about the character is that, if you look at some of the procedurals, like, the regular cop procedurals, Ronnie would be the kind of character who'd be, in the interrogation room for one scene. And then that would be it. You wouldn't see the character again. So we really get to discover the heart and soul of someone who is often seen as on the margins. And even in the show, he's sort of on the margins of the society. He's discarded. He's not well liked. He's killed a kid. Mm-hmm. So trying to find the humanity in all of that, trying to find and being able to wrestle with the struggles that he's wrestling with. I'm sure we all have things in our life that have haunted us, and it's hard to shake them. And that's what's been Ronnie's, Achilles heel. He's had several anchors on him, weighing him down throughout his life. And so to get to be able to explore that, and it just thinks, I think of things in myself, in my own personal life. There's been some incidents that have happened, and sometimes you just run those things over in your head over and over again, ad nauseum. Mm-hmm. And none of these have been as monumental as what Ronnie's gone through in terms of killing a kid or being shot or going to jail or, being wrestling with addiction. But I've seen how it's easy to get in a rut and keep repeating the same thing over and over. And how to break that cycle is a real challenge. And I think what's exciting about season 3 for me on The Chi is that we see Ronnie start to find his calling. Mm. And I think it'll be a really interesting season for folks to see a new side of Ronnie.
It's amazing when a person or a character can find peace and also they have forgiveness in their life too, because I think a big part of it is like people just are so quick to assume, so quick to judge. They say, why would you do something like that? They don't understand why something's happening. So especially with Ronnie, it's like his military background or his family background. Like understanding the why is a big part here. So what's it like diving into that and just giving people a little bit more light about why certain things are happening and how we can grow from those things as well?
Well, I feel like, for me, the beginning, the first couple of seasons, Ronnie was always taking one. His heart was in the right place, but his actions would take him in the wrong direction.